Good afternoon, hello. This clip is both an intro and potentially the last video that will ever upload to this channel, because I'm out running now and there are several lanes and paths near me, some of which are public and some of which aren't quite so public, and I'm on one that isn't quite so public, and from what I've just heard, I don't think the farmer was too happy about me running on this not quite so public lane. Farmers own shotguns, so I'm sticking to the plan, but I have turned around and perhaps increase the pace ever so slightly from what it should be. Anyway, I'm gonna essentially get run over here. I just followed the footpath.
No, it's like it's a private gate.
Oh, sorry.
The way it run down road has been illegal.
Oh, sorry, I just ran down the footpath, sorry.
That's why I've come down.
From which point? I don't know how much of that will have made the final clip, but yeah, he was all right. Just obviously I'm running where I shouldn't be, I suppose. Thing is, there's footpaths around here, but then turn into private paths, and there's not always signs. Like, I haven't gone through any closed gateways. All I've done is just followed what looks like a path, and at some point it isn't a public footpath. Anyway, he's saying there's a sign down here that says private, but I haven't seen it. There's no gate or anything. Anyway, I'm going to put on screen now my session, a picture of what I've written on my hand. Not quite a full training peak session, but it's got a purpose. Purpose is, it's like Ironman specific. This looks like I'm going to get absolutely right through. It's Ironman specific, so when I do an Ironman, I'm not going to be running very fast at all, and you do stuff like walk the aid stations to take on fluid and food. So some of my training, not all of it, some of it is going to reflect that. So today's run is like 39 minutes steady, and then a 1 minute walk, and then a bit faster, and a 1 minute walk, and a bit steadier, 1 minute walk. And those walks are important because I'm going to try and take on perhaps a gel and some full steam carb mix during those 1 minute walks, because that's what I'm going to do during an Ironman and a half Ironman. You really want to make the most of that time when you're walking, your heart rate's lower, to get more down your neck. So I don't need to go mad like training the gut to absorb loads at once, and do you know what, at Wales I might carry this for the first 10k or so or something. But little things like that I think are worthwhile training if you're going to race like that. Clearly some people will run the whole thing a lot faster than I will, and so therefore might want to train a little bit differently, but that's going to be my plan to get to the finish. 2 hours is a long time to be out running. If I'm honest, it's quite hard just to get out the door, and because it's in the evening, I'm doing these first few loops close to home in case I need to stop for a toilet stop. And but I feel okay so far. We're now 18 minutes in. Is that it? 18 minutes. I'm just trying to look for this path where, to be fair, this guy did say to me, don't go left, go straight on at this path, but I can't work it out. My sense of direction is not amazing, and this to me just looks like a path. Anyways, I will see you. Oh, I think this is what he means. Oh, look, this is the footpath. That's a sign for a footpath, isn't it? That's where I've just come up from. Who knows? Who knows? 39 minutes in. It's my first 1 minute walk. I could get used to this. Just taking on some fluids. I'm not having a gel just yet because I'm only 39 minutes in. I'm going to wait till about an hour and 10 in before I have that. Feeling okay. My heart rate's just quite high, but it's about 22 degrees Celsius, and we all know I don't do too well in the heat, so maybe it's just a little bit high because of that, but still felt plenty easy enough. Maybe it was the heart rate of the farmer incident, who knows. Anyway, 20 seconds to go. This goes so fast. Why is sport so frustrating? This is the third time I've recorded this clip. I'm not going to record it again, so whatever I say. Now, I'm trying not to make light of the situation because it genuinely really affects me. Some of you who have been around for a long time might remember, it must have been 2 or 3 years ago, I did a 10-mile Friday night road race, running race. And I pulled out about 3 miles in because I needed a toilet, as in a number 2. So then, after that point, I was a bit more open about it on this channel, about when I run, I struggle with toilet issues. And I know a lot of runners do, it's called runner's belly and whatever else. And there's a lot of great help for that. And I tried to nail different diet types, I tried to nail different routines, and eventually after testing loads of different things, come to the conclusion that it's not because of any one thing that I'm specifically eating, it's more a routine based thing. So when I run in the mornings, which doesn't happen very often, I occasionally need to go to the toilet. When I run at lunchtime, I pretty much never need to go to the toilet. And when I run in the evenings, I pretty much always need to go to the toilet. Now, today, I knew I was running in the evening, wasn't doing any other training today, so I've specifically planned to run tonight with regard to what I'm eating and when, and, you know, toilet routines. So I haven't ate anything since lunchtime, had some bowel movements mid-afternoon, thought, brilliant, I've been for a good run tonight. Got 50 minutes in, and I started feeling like, oh, you know, I know the feeling, I need to go. But it's not a case of I'll finish a run and then go. It's almost like I've got a 5 to 10 minute window of get home, otherwise there'll be an accident. And well, fortunately, I come prepared in that I've always got like toilet roll and stuff with me because of the nature of the problem. I had to go find myself somewhere in the woodlands to get it done, because honestly, I would not have made it home, even walking. So really concerning, really frustrating. It's part of the reason why I'm hesitant to do more triathlons. It's part of the reason why I don't really do any running races, because there's loads of like summer leagues and stuff on the evenings around here, but I just don't think I'll be able to do it. I think I struggle with toilet routine. And a lot of these things, you meet up in car parks in woodlands, there's not any toilets. Like, yeah, so frustrating. I can't train for an Ironman with these sorts of issues. When I run on like a Saturday morning long run, I tend to be okay then, because I'll get up, then I'll either have breakfast and leave it like 2 hours, or I'll get up and run, or get up and have a coffee or something. I've not really nailed it, and I'm not really looking for any answer. I'm just trying to explain why I've pulled the pin at, what, 57 minutes in tonight. Just feeling okay, feeling absolutely fine, and like by the time you get to an hour, right, by the time you get to, by the way, whenever anybody passes a dog walker and a dog, do you greet the dog walker and dog separately? Because I do. I'm like, hi, hello. Anyway, might cut that bit. So, I was talking about toilet routines, running races. I can't remember. Anyway, it's a constant frustration of mine, so I don't know what I'm going to do. I need to just stick to my routines that I know, but I know that I can't do a full distance event or do it well off of restricted run training because of this. So I don't know. That got really rambly. I'm already past the point of too much information, so I'm going to show you a little bit more. Although I've just been to the toilet now, if I was to start running again in another 10 to 20 minutes, I would need to go again. It's almost like it makes me a bit volatile, almost for like a day afterwards as well. So it's not like, oh, you get it done once and then that's fine. When I used to live in Newark, I'd train at the track. It was perfect because there was a toilet at the track, so I could go and nip off the track in between efforts, done, come back and carry on running. It wasn't too bad, but this sort of place is not ideal. But that's it for today's training. But on a more positive note, I'm going home, shower, change, tea, and then I'm going to go and see Triple Brutal James and the support crew, because the Decker is nearly here. Let's go and say hi to them, guys.
You're going to give us some sort of handout?
Yes, I can do that.
Yeah, write this out.
Yeah. Everything is going to be made with a kettle and hot water. There's no milk involved, or cold water for the shake. So I ain't got to worry about refrigerating milk or fanning around. Everything's just made with water. So that's
So we're up at 4:30, so you're ready for 5 o'clock.
Yeah, and at 5 o'clock, if I've ate that gives me enough time to get dressed and do ablutions before I get in the lake. Yeah. Now I know that breakfast isn't as much as I would want to eat, so on the way down to the lake I need full steam, because I think the setup is that I'm not going to be able to grab the full steam while swimming. So it might be that as I roll round, you hand me a sandwich that I can eat on the bike. This is one of my concerns about a time trial bike. I don't know how practical a time trial bike's going to be over that number of days with that amount of eating, because when you're up with one hand, I don't know, and we'll just have to have a look at it, I think, and see what's working.
So, when you start that day on a bike, can you swap the bike during the stage?
I've read the rules, and there aren't many. Okay, yeah. So
it does make a difference. Obviously, you get in.
Yeah.
You could say let's give it a go for the first few hours. If it's not working, then
I think we can swap bikes as much as we want, and I think that punctures and whatnot, I think you can come time. So not just moving time here. I can't imagine the bike being much quicker than 7.5 hours at the quickest with stop time, and it could go anywhere to anything, couldn't it? But I'm imagining about 10 hours is probably toward the top end, I would have thought. Yeah. But obviously you might be travelling at 8 miles an hour, who knows?
I think you're surprised yourself how fast you are, but you
I'd
best go in with that mentality, aren't you?
I think 10 hours is that's a longer day on the bike.
Yeah, better than what we
I trained up slightly.
The slower you go, the longer it is. So the sweet spot